Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to a morning outlook on Thursday, the 8th of December. So let's look ahead of today, what we got coming out, etc. Firstly, looking at the news, risk events. We got the ECB president speaking there at 12 o'clock. She has spoken a lot lately, so I'm not due to deliver pre-recorded opening remarks. There you go. At a virtual conference. Crikey, everything's done already for something that's not actually happening at the time. Yeah. But not together anyway. So we may get some movement around that about midday, but I don't expect anything because she's spoken so much since the last interest rate increases, and there's not been a great deal of data out since then. That hasn't already been remarked on. So maybe 2:30 this afternoon, the governing board of Switzerland might create some volatility there, but nothing much there. So yesterday, I just run back a day here. Just we had the Canadian data out, and it came out pretty much as forecast. Came out 4.25. So apparently, the money markets were pricing in just a 0.33 increase as opposed to a 0.5%. Anyway, it tilted towards the stronger side of things. However, it didn't make a lot of difference to the strength of the currency. In fact, let's look at the Canadian dollar first. So if we go to the US dollar CAD here and just look at the higher time frames, and you'll see it ended up with a bit of a doji bar. But when the news actually was released, it was pros and cons sitting around it, and it really it momentarily got stronger. This little old movement here, but and then it washed over, and off it went back up to where it was previously, up to those sort of levels. If everything rolls over, if the US dollar is softer, we could see this roll over further. But if the euro, the pound, etc., all start on a march, well, that will cause that. But otherwise, if everything else is weakening, this will weaken just as easily and continue to the upside. Okay, not a lot more to add to that one. Really, there's nothing looking like I really want to get into it. The euro's a bit of a different ball game here. We'll see how the rest of this morning, this pre-hour movement goes. It's looking like it's got potential to the upside, further potential to the upside. So we could see a bit more movement there. I'm looking at that. Obviously, a breaker yesterday's highs there, but it broke, retraced, and then broke higher again yesterday. Okay, it's chopped around and not moved a lot of distance, but it just looks like it's got something in the gas tank. Maybe we'll see as I say, post 8 o'clock. Cable. Well, just come back to the daily there. It reversed itself around reasonably well, closing up. Eventually, through the morning, it picked up a little bit there. It dipped off through this morning into the daily pivot, and it's bouncing off that quite nicely again. It's breaking through the original trend line there. We've seen a higher low coming through. Okay, it's backed off from that, but we could see the momentum pick back up this morning. If it does, well, there's the trade to the upside towards those prior highs over here maybe, and in particular the R1 pivot. Okay, so US dollar yen. So yen, well, same sort of principle here. We've seen a bit of a retracement and now a continuation to the downside. Dumped off quite quickly at one stage yesterday, again breaking through the trend line there. It's come off quite strongly, settled down during the evening, evening, and well, retraced a little bit from there, but again, it's looking like there might be some more yen strength, the US dollar softening, so we could see a continuation. If I can get across to it, Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar in a much uglier situation on its dailies. It doesn't mean to say it won't push up, and again you've got this sort of it's not pushed up as far in terms of retracement, but it could have something more. I'm really looking at a break above yesterday's highs there. If it starts pushing back above there, as I say, it could go. I just think it's one of the weaker pairings. So if things reverse the other way, it might be one to pick on and look for the downside. So just looking at a little bit softer. We've already looked at CAD. Bonus today. Quick look at New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar's not had a bad time of late. I mean, it's since early October, it's been rallying all the way up there. Occasional retracements. We saw it earlier this week, but again, it's looking like it wants to do what most of the other markets are doing here and push back up. We could have a run up to its R1 today. Just as again, post 8 o'clock, just see what's happening. Look if there's opportunity. The momentum's continuing through, and it could be in for a ride to the upside. Okay, switching markets then, and let's just run to the indices here. But firstly, look at the gold prices. So gold, well, it's a very similar picture, although having said that, daily wise it still looks like it's a bit stronger with this sort of higher move. It's had its divergence, it's put a divergence in around those highs, it's retraced, it's not retraced that far, but it is a similar picture really at the end of the day to these other markets, and a break above those highs would be a more bullish signal. And again, we've got the daily R1s above there, so it's there's a lot of correlation through these other markets, either inverted or actual. Oil, I'm going to switch to spot crude there and run through here. So I've gone backwards instead of forwards. What's going on here? Oh, big pardon, I was looking for spot crude. There you go. It's just a bit of a cleaner chart to run through. So it's just been heading further and further south here. Got a bit of a retrace going at the moment, but it does look like, well, it's retraced back into its daily pivot. Maybe a trend line across the lows there, looking for the S1. Looks a possibility. It's not too much for any early warnings on that. So does look like, I mean, this oil market, it often gets into these flaggy sort of patterns coming through. Just be patient, wait till the afternoon normally for Western Texas, and off it goes again. So looking like there's no difference there. Looking through the indices then, let's just look at the end of day for the CSI 300. Really just consolidating around its highs at the moment. The Nikkei off again, again gapping down, and well, this time not managing to regain all of its distance there, looking softer. Nifty 50, similar sort of flag is continuing to appear at the moment. There's a potential, maybe it just wants to come back to that weekly pivot, and we'll see a bounce off of that at some point. But it's certainly still got its flag pattern there. When's the Santa rally going to come then? That's what I want to know. So S&P's yesterday again still to the downside. The data that's coming through it's a bit like the Canadian data. It's still coming through. The jobs market's still strengthening, but I have a feeling a lot of these job markets are strengthening because more and more people are wanting to work two jobs because they're having to, as opposed to anything else. But I might be wrong there. Anyway, S&P's then bouncing a little bit there, as the Dow Jones. I'm still looking for the opportunities on alongside these markets. So long as they keep on popping down, there's nothing. But I'm still seeing this as big bull flags, and just really biding my time there to get in. Nasdaq, the softer of the markets always, and it certainly appears that bit softer. We'll see what develops. If we're looking for the rollover move, I'd prefer to be doing it on the Nasdaq. It's got better potential. Coming closer home then, the DAX. Well, the DAX, it's starting to show its hand a little bit more here after all that time around the highs there, floating up and sitting there slowly. It's come off a little bit now. Again, question really, I suppose, it's just come back to its 21 at the moment. We're getting a bit of bounce off here. Is it going to come back to the monthly? And it's still bull flaggy territory up there, but yes, it has put some lower highs. It's come down, so certainly a softer look at it. And you come down to this hourly, and once again you sort of look at it, and you look at yesterday, and you just think, well, it's ugly. I mean, the movements are sort of coming through in the afternoons a little bit more, but even then, yesterday really didn't go too well. The day before there had been quite ugly. Yeah, Monday, or Tuesday, ugly old market. Here we're looking at this. It obviously looks more black. Did I say black? Bearish flag. That's what I meant to say. Bearish flag movement. So it's looking bit iffy, but as I say, the bigger time frames, you just got to keep an eye on these, because at some stage it might start rallying and get a bit of a grip in there. Okay, finally FTSE, again it's short of its monthly pivots. I'd just love to see them all come back and kick them out of the way and see if we get a bounce. You see how choppy this has been at times. Again, not a good market to be trading into. You just can be thinking, right, I've got it now, it's coming down, boom, off it goes again, and oh, it's going back or whatever. A bit whipsaw. It's already hit the daily S1. Okay, it might still hit. It looks like it's got potential to hit into that pivot, but the way it's coming down at the moment, again, looks a little bit more bearish than bullish. So I'd be waiting to be looking at the overall bigger picture, which is pushing upwards. So need to be patient. Right, that's pretty much it for today. I'm not going to go through the cryptos every day, as I said before. Now I'm just sort of going to catch them every couple of days. I'll take a look tomorrow morning. That's it for me. Have a great day, and I'll catch you later. Bye for now.